All right, people, what's going on? Today we're back, but with a new feature. We're trying something out to see if we can help artists get their awareness up a little bit more than they already have, and hopefully it'll help some people. So the feature, I haven't got a title for it yet, but hopefully before it goes live, I'll have a title for it. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get artists to come in here to talk about the releases they've got, whether it's singles, EPs, albums. If they want to make the journey and come down, then we'll support them. We'll do the interview with them to talk specifically about their release. First guest that I've got today is someone who I rate highly. I met him a few months ago when we did a one take and an Unknowns interview already. He did a one take which he absolutely tore down. And from then, I knew I had to prick my ears up and listen and watch. He's had a couple of videos out. He's back today and he puts in the work. He's an example of what an artist really should be. And I'm happy to introduce you to Jay Littles again for the second time from Nottingham. Jay Littles, how you doing, bro?
Oh, good, bro. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate the love.
Before we actually get started, you know, I mentioned that we want to support artists and everything.
Yeah.
So one artist who's been supporting the channel consistently since we began is a guy called MC Oliver Twist. So, MC Oliver Twist, his album, Bomberman, that's his t-shirt. If you want to get one of these t-shirts, they're dope. You can reach out to MC Oliver Twist on his Instagram page, which I don't know what it is off by heart, but stop being lazy, go look. All right, so Jay Littles, what can we talk about your album?
So yeah, the album is called Massa. The title comes from what my grandma used to call me. She used to address me as that, my dad, my uncles, and it was something that I've just known growing up. So when I was kind of trying to look for something to kind of run with in terms of a concept, I kind of wanted to focus on myself a little bit more. And just one day the term just came to me and it was like, yeah, it's always been right there. So the spelling of it is Massa. My grandma's from the Windrush generation, you know, from the Caribbean, so she would call me Massa as opposed to Massa. So when a lot of people hear the album, they address it as Massa. But I don't let anyone trip up on that or whatever. It's if people read it as that, I'm fine with it. But yeah, like things like this help to kind of give the interpretation in the right way. So yeah, Massa is the album. Noel Poland is the label. And yeah, it's out there, man. We dropped 23rd of August, so it's been circulating for a couple months now. So, you know, things like this, again, they just help. I've been doing the rounds, I've been trying to put in the work in, and yeah, just trying to make the most of the material that we've got. Because one thing that I've learned, you know, from having conversations with people like yourself, it's like anything that people hear for the first time is new music, no matter how long it's been out. So, you know, I had to get past that thing of once it's been out a certain amount of time, it doesn't really require the legwork or, you know, the effort to be put in to kind of get it to where you want it to be. So that's why I'm still here. I've been working my ass off.
The fact that you've been putting in the legwork months after, most people nowadays would have given up. But if you don't keep pushing, then you don't give yourself the opportunity.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I believe in the work itself. I know what the body of work is. I know what it's capable of if it reaches the right spaces and the right people. And you know, as well as being the artist that put out the album, I'm also a fan of the album. I love my work. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just about taking pride in the work. Yeah, obviously I work on other things outside of that. There's other things coming, but this is here now, and it deserves to be treated in the right way, and it deserves the work to be put in that I've already put into making it. Do you know what I mean? If I just put all this effort into making it and then left it just for it to do whatever it's going to do on its own, then it's only going to end one way. So the way I see it, you know, we've got the vinyls, we've got the merch and things like that. So there's different elements of the album that people can buy into outside of just listening to it on these Spotify's and things of that nature. So yeah, and you know what? As much work as is being put in and as hard as it can be, I enjoy it because it's never been the destination for me. I understand that this is part of what goes into putting out quality bodies of work. And like I say, because I feel that way about the work, I'm only going to continue to push it whenever I get the opportunity. And I'll put this album up against anyone that's dropped this year. That's how confident I am on this project. And I think everybody should feel that way. You know, we talk as rappers about being confident as being the best rapper or stuff like that, but you never really hear people talk about how confident they are with their body of work. Like that's why I'm doing this. What I'm doing now. I feel like my body of work stands up against anybody's that's dropped this year. I remember being in my bedroom. I used to write over. I didn't have instrumentals, so I just used to write over songs. That's how I used to. And then going from that to like now doing tours, having some of my favorite MCs on my project and things like that. You know, you have to remember where those moments were where you felt, where you could only imagine being in a situation I am now, and there's still a lot of work to do. So I just think that, yeah, shouldn't get lost in the sauce when it comes to that selfishness that you're talking about, because that's only yeah, you've got what you want, now what?
Let's talk about the album.
Yeah.
First of all, it's signed to Noel in Poland. How did that come about?
So I dropped a project top end of 2023 called Vex with a good friend of mine, Zuta, who was part of the Elements production in Nottingham. We dropped a little EP and it caught the ears of Kong the Artisan, who also owns Noel in Poland, and then he reached out to me and we just built up a rapport over about a year, just going back and forth. Had a few ideas to do certain things, and I had another situation going on where I was working on some other music that didn't really come to fruition in any way. And then top end of the year, we had a conversation about it. I said, this situation I've got's kind of dead in the water now. What are you saying? He says, if you're ready to go, let's go. And then we just went full steam ahead. And everything was done remotely because he lives in Hong Kong. It was crazy, bro, because like just the chemistry between the two of us and just the understanding that we had once we'd started creating things, everything just made sense. We didn't do any more than 2 songs, maybe 3 songs outside of the songs we ended up selecting for the album. So it wasn't just a whole trial and error thing where we've done 50 joints and then we've picked from 11 of them from the 50. Everything just seemed to work. And it weren't until maybe 80% of the project was done, we actually met for the first time. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, bro. It just happened organically. Everything went right, and it was a really enjoyable experience. And obviously, having the backing of a label, there's certain things that I'd have to consider, whether it's booking someone for a video, whether it's photo shoots, the mixing, the mastering. I just had to focus on creating the work.
Okay, so how much freedom do you have in all of that?
A lot. Because even though like with a lot of things, I was willing to go back to the drawing board with certain things, always asked his opinion, any ideas that he put forward to me, it was more so wanting to know what my opinion was. So there was an understanding and a mutual respect for the artistry of each other. So again, when you just have that, I don't know if it's because we'd never met each other before or whatever it was just a really beautiful experience just to have. And
trust me, bro, now that you've met, it's downhill from now on.
yeah.
I'm joking.
It's downhill from now. Yeah, he's a prick, innit? That's what's going to happen now. I'm gonna stop. This time next year, I'll be back on here cussing him. No, Kong, it's love. But yeah, man, it's the first time that everything's been so straightforward. And I just think it was the case of not having that weight on my shoulders in terms of what I need to do outside of creating the music. So yeah.
So who produced the album?
So Kong produced everything. Bar one song, a guy called Bad Bambino. But he also co-produced it with Kong. So I've got a song called Where You At. But yeah, outside of that, it was just me. It was just me and Kong. So Zuta from Knots, he engineered the whole thing. So because we've worked together for years prior, everything I recorded was in Knots. So he was my go-to guy. Obviously, he understands a lot of the things that I do in terms of my vocal tone, my range. He threw a lot of ideas into the mix in terms of sequencing of songs and just how to arrange certain hooks and things like that. So he played a big part in that as well. So yeah, big ups to Zuta, man. So yeah, it was Kong, Bad Bambino, Zuta, myself. And outside of that, it was very much a family affair. So my pops is on the intro of the song. I've got my sister, who's on 3 of the joints as well. So it was everything was very close knit, and it was quite a family orientated project. So my dad's a percussionist, and on the intro, he actually played about 6 or 7 different instruments. Everything was done in one take, and then his take that he did where he speaks on the intro, again, it was all done in one take. So it was, yeah, it was a talking point for everybody, even my mum and my other sisters. Both of my sisters are in
Wake Up.
are in the Wake Up video. They helped actually design the setup as well, because it was in a loft in this space in Nottingham, and it was kind of, the idea was taken from, the Colours platform where they have the suspended mic and stuff like that. So we just tried to put our own little twist on it and create our own little space off the back of it.
How many videos have you done?
What have I done? I've done one for Wake Up, I've done one for Random Thoughts, and a third one for Do the Job. About to do a fourth one with Confucius as well.
What I really want to do is actually pull out maybe, say, 3 tracks that mean something to you off the album.
Yeah.
And you give us a little bit of insight on why those tracks came about, how they came about.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, what's your first choice?
My first choice is, I'll go with Wake Up. So Wake Up, that means a lot to me, because that was almost like, and again, the mood and the feel of the song came from a conversation I'd had with Zuta prior to recording it. There was a point in time where we weren't really connecting much, and he was working on certain things. I was trying to work on certain things that weren't really happening and stuff. And then when me and Con got together and started our thing, it was kind of like, yeah, bro, I kind of distanced myself from you a little bit, because I needed you to kind of wake up in a sense. So the concept of that was, it was very much so for me. Like, I'm saying, wake up to me, like, wake up. You need to get, you need to get yourself in gear and push forward and continue on this journey that you've been started years before, because there's something there. There's a purpose. You're supposed to be doing this for a reason. So that song is, to me, it's a very uplifting one, and that's the reason that it's like the top end of the album for me. That's, again, the whole wake up thing. It's kind of like a get up and go thing for me. Obviously I'm trying to be nice and cute with the pen and stuff like that, but all in all, it's more so about just hitting home the fact that you can actually do this thing.
In some places, you seem confident, uplifted.
Yeah.
There's a whole heap of things like, yo, I could do this, blah, blah, blah. But in other places, it's like you're waking up in the morning and almost questioning yourself as to, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got the bills, you got the pressure, you got life, you got all these other things thrown in.
You're talking about Random Thoughts. So from the outside looking in, I think a lot of people would probably assume, that I'm just a conscious rapper. A lot of people find it easy to just say that. And I think a lot of people that think anything outside of gun, drug talk and things like that means that you're a conscious MC. But I'm just someone that understands my life experience. So with like Random Thoughts, there's points in time where I've made songs and I've tried to be uplifting or, with a certain message. And it's like, at the same time I try to do this, I'm trying to heal people or convey a certain message that might benefit someone in one way or another. But then it's like, the reality of it is, I've got my own shit to sort out at the same time. Things that I have probably not even addressed in life, or things that I need to tighten up on or get better at in life. So it was just one of them ones where I'm just taking a look in the mirror and telling myself, like, yeah, it's all good saying these things, but who am I to say these things in reality when I've got all this other stuff that I have to deal with outside of trying to be an artist, outside of trying to just be a good person in general, because no one's perfect. It's very much like a self-reflection thing. And it's like, if I can't identify these things and pinpoint where I might go wrong in life or things I need to be better at, then I'm going to be stuck in the same place, doing the same things. So, yeah, while we'll do a wake up and we'll do the whole rep, we'll take it up here and, believe in yourself, you can get there. I just think, just for me, certain times I need to be selfish and have a little bit of self-reflection. And I kind of see it as that's like my therapy. We talk a lot about people's mental health issues and stuff like that. And, there's a lot of people that do therapy and things like that. And I find myself quite headstrong. But I think that's because I have the ability to be able to say my piece as it refers to me. So like something like Random Thoughts, that's like a heavy therapy session for me. Do you get what I mean? That's the one as well. That's the one. I'll skip that song. If I'm driving and I'm playing the album, I'll skip that song because I just think I don't need to hear that right now. I'm not ready for it because I know where that comes from. I know how deep it actually is and what it means to me. And a lot of people touch on that and pinpoint that as one that they really take in and listen to. So, yeah, while it's one that I've wrote for myself and, just trying to learn a lot more self-love and things of that nature, I think a lot of people take from that and they can relate at the same time to their own lives.
Do you sometimes feel like you have to be Samson, get that donkey's jawbone and go and kill 10,000 soldiers to get to where you're going?
Are you talking about in terms of with the pen?
What I'm trying to get at is you wake up, most people wake up every morning nowadays and they feel the world is against them.
Yeah.
So you've got a massive fight on your hands from the second you wake up. So what I'm saying is your songs kind of in some way reference all of that. Yeah? So do you feel that you have to be like a Samson that's ready to take on 10,000 people to get to where you're going?
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at myself at the minute. Like the things that I'm doing and the lengths that I'm going to get certain, even if it's just to have a conversation in the right place. I'm being very, I don't know what the word is, but I'm combing over every fine detail that I possibly can in this space and trying to maximize everything. And that's that whole Samson thing. That's very much the mindset, I think. And I know it more so because I'm doing everything on my own in terms of the legwork. Do you get what I mean? And it's one of them things where I've done certain things and it's like, okay, I know that I can do that now. So I just got to keep going. You're like I said to you earlier, you have a different mentality. You've got a goal in mind and you've just been consistent. Ever since I've come across this channel, it's just been video after video after video. You don't care what nobody says. You don't care who tries to step on your toes. It's just that dog-ridden resilience that you have. And I think from having conversations with people like yourself, like there was something that you said to me when I came last time, but I'll say it off camera because it's a bit of a personal one. But I took that on board and I've took that into everyday life, So it's it's not for the faint-hearted. I've said this before. It's not for the faint-hearted. Like if you want to do something, and you've got all the resources that are necessary to achieve these things, then you just have to go. You have to go for it. Like no matter what it is, it could be music, it could be a business, anything. You have to just full steam ahead.
Obviously, you got Noel and Poland behind you in terms of the release.
Yeah.
How much are they behind you in terms of getting the media awareness?
As much as they possibly can.
So they got you radio interviews?
Yeah, radio, got interviews, shows, and then, outside of things that they've done, things that, I've found myself being offered and being put in position to do other things, they'll come forward and be like, okay, do you need anything ahead of this? Is there anything I can do to help with this? So it's just a constant support system.
So you got the freedom and the support.
Yeah.
Big up Kong.
Yeah, honestly, the dude's changed my life.
Third track.
Okay, so the third track is a song called Bebe. So Bebe is about, this all came off the back of the beat that Kong sent me. It's a fictional, nondescript female that I'm referencing, but in the hook, it goes, ooh, baby, and then that you wanna do. I'm saying the word baby, but the style of the hook came from Mos Def. So when I heard the beat, first thing I thought of was Mos Def, big Mos Def fan. Obviously, Mos Def changed his name to Yasin Bey. So because I'm saying baby, it sounds like Bebe. So as a little tip of the hat, I just titled it B-E-Y, B-E-Y in reference to Yasin Bey because that's where the style of the hook comes from. So, there's a couple joints that I'd heard, and as soon as I got this beat, it just reminded me of that, and I just kind of took on this whole Mos Def thing and then just ran with that. And it was that was probably the most enjoyable song I had in terms of actually recording, because it shocked a few people as well. And yeah, that song's been doing well. We're in talks to do visuals with that, but that's got to hit the sweet spot. It's got to be the perfect video. And it's doing well on radio and stuff as well.
So you got support from HFM. Who else?
HFM, Radio 6, BBC Introducing has been sick. Yep. They've had me all around the place. Bandcamp Radio, they've got a few hip hop shows. They're sick. And And then I've just been getting hit up from various different DJs in LA, New York. Someone's been hitting me up from New Zealand, Brazil.
Shorty Bliss supporting you?
Yeah, big time. Obviously, he's not got his Kiss situation anymore, so usually Kiss would always be a big love. Rinse as well. Shouts out Sammy B-side. Yeah, so big love to anybody that's shown me any type of love, gave me a minute, listened to my stuff.
You've travelled from Nottingham, you went to London,
Yeah,
come to Maidstone.
yeah.
So, you know, you're prepared to make those journeys.
Always.
And I figure
Always.
if there was a radio station at the top of Mount Everest, you'd find a way to get there.
I'd park the car, and I'd get the thing with the claw, fling that up, and I'd abseil up it, walk on. I'm resilient like that. If it's something that I want, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna try and do whatever I can do to get it. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's the reason that I still do music now. There's many people that I knew coming up that did music,
And they've gone.
They
They don't do it no more.
Yeah.
Because it gave up. And
I said that in Wake Up. I'd done too many laps around the sun for me to be sunned, and I seen too many hang up the mic because it didn't come.
that in itself is a crazy one, because I've seen people that have been on the verge of making it and then given up.
And this is the thing, like we say, go back to the whole, you don't know what you're going to say, it's going to be that viral moment, or you don't know who's going to hear your music that's going to make that phone call or send that email that could change your life. Do you know what I mean? Give you that opportunity to change your own life, or whatever the case may be. So again, it all goes back to just being consistent and just enjoying it and just keep going.
Have you got any final words, bro?
Just look out for me, man. I'm everywhere. You'll see me putting in the work in the maddest places. Yeah, I love this thing too much to even. It's not even a thought to. You know, there's no cut off point. There's nothing. You know, I know I have the material. I know I have the ability. I know I have the desire, and I'm just here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it all. I ain't going nowhere. So get used to it.
All right. There you have it, guys. So this is the first episode that we're doing in this feature. And, you know, who better to get in than someone who I know is dedicated. He's pretty much given up his entire life to do this. He's prepared to travel around the world, do all kinds of stuff. So if there's any promoters out there that are looking for someone to book, here's someone who's going to be reliable. He's going to turn up no matter what, even if he has to climb Mount Everest. Yeah. If there's an agent out there that's looking for someone who's reliable.
I've been knocking on them doors, man. Booking agents, you know.
Everybody, please look out for Jay Littles. Go check out his album, Massa. How do you pronounce it?
Massa. Yes, Massa. That's what I say. Yes, Massa.
Yeah, so go and look out for the album. Go and check out his videos. They're on YouTube. Hopefully we'll get some of those videos and put them on 521 as well. We'll see about that. But in the meantime, please make sure you support all the other artists that are out there. And if there's anybody out there as artists who've got releases that you want to come in here and talk about, hit me up. Let me know. Contact us on info@0521.co.uk, or you can hit me up on my Instagram page. That's Blade691_UK. Do you want to give your details?
Yes, you can catch me Instagram, J Littles Music across the board, TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube, all of that. That's me, man.
All right. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.